Hi, I'm TJ Wild. So what I wanted to do was come up with a brand new show where I talked about nothing but hip hop. And I was gonna start it off talking about Jadakiss's new album Ignatius. But then ELECTRONICA decided after over a decade that he was gonna go ahead and drop his long-awaited debut album, A Written Testimony. And I had to jump on that. So I pushed back the recording of this episode so I could give both albums a fair shot. And now here I am to tell you what I think about both projects. So sit back, relax, catch your contact, sip your cognac, or whatever you gotta do to relax. It's time for the hip hop shop, y'all. Let's do it.
What you know about it, pop shops, rockin' spots. But what you know about it, pop shops, rockin' spots.
Alright, so first on the agenda is Jadakiss, Ignatius. Now this album came out March 6th. It's got 13 tracks on it. And it's a tribute to one of his associates who actually passed away. I don't really know too many details about his death or whatever, but I know that it definitely messed up Jadakiss. He went on a couple of shows to talk about the tone of the album, and there's definitely a somber mood throughout. This is one of the chillest Jadakiss albums that I've ever heard, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because you all know Jadakiss has those bars, and he definitely put them on full display for this album. Now, a couple of the tracks that stuck out to me include track number 2, which is Hunting Season, which is featuring Pusha T. I'm in love with the first 4 bars of the song right here. It goes as follows. For my thugs in the cage, slugs in the gauge, they want a couple of life, little love on their page. That just make me want to holler, well, brother, we supposed to be leaders. Why y'all want to follow each other? Follow each other on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, things of that nature. But at the same time, it's like, you know, everybody's trying to be a boss. Everybody's trying to be this, that, and the third. So why don't you create your own lane as opposed to trying to do what everybody else is doing, seeking everybody else's approval? Life isn't all about likes and subscribes and shares and things of that nature. So that's a fucking powerful line for me, and I like that shit. Oh, by the way, before I forget, don't forget to like this video if you are a fan of hip-hop. Don't forget to subscribe to YFBFB. And if you love it enough, share it with all your friends and put them on to the hotness that you just discovered.
I'm the biggest hypocrite, hypocrite.
Pusha T's verse on that song, he kills it as usual, but there's a couple of lines here that stuck out to me because he referenced that Drake beef that he had a couple years ago where he had to put a chink in Mr. Graham's armor. He says, say all's fair in love and war. You say I moved the line just to score. Headshot to keep Adidas pure. Drake had that line added on that he was going to have with Adidas until the Pusha T disc came out, which included that picture of Drake in blackface. So that ruined that shoe deal right there. That's how you win a beef. When you can hurt a man's pockets, that's how you win a beef. That's why Pusha T is one of the illest. So that was kind of cool to have him throw that back. Another song on the album that I'm a big fan of is Keep It 100, because who doesn't want people to keep it 100 with them? You know, honesty is the best policy. That's what I say. First verse is talking about who I believe to be his girl, perhaps. Second verse talks about a associate he used to have. Drug deal situation kind of went sour, and he ended up having to dissolve the friendship over it. I know a lot of people could relate to that, not necessarily on the drug dealing tip, but on the fact of trusting someone that you really shouldn't be putting your trust into. So that song kind of hit me right here as well. That was another dope one. Of course, we all know about Me. That was the lead single. The song is fire. Really nothing else to say about that. Need Your Best featuring Ty Dolla $ign. There really isn't much to say about that. I mean, the lyrics are pretty much what you would expect from a, banging song, Ty Dolla $ign does this thing on the hook. The beat is real throwback R&B, kind of 90s vibe to it, So I was a big fan of that. Kisses to the Sky is the second single. That features Rick Ross and Neo. And on that show... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I just received word that it is actually not Neo on that song. In fact, it's a gentleman by the name of Eminem. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I'm just going to call him a Neo clone because he sounds fucking like Neo. The song reminds me of the song that Rick Ross did called Super High, which actually featured Neo on it. And, well, you tell me if you agree.
these cars, all these stars all around me. Things I've seen, the places I have been. I've seen it.
I know it can't just be me on that one. You definitely let me know if you agree. This song, speaking of Rick Ross, he has a verse on this song and he just does his, super rich floss rap. That's what he does, whatever. Nothing offensive, nothing too groundbreaking, but either way, it's still a good performance from him. Overall, awesome song. Overall, awesome album. Like I said, it's got kind of a somber vibe to it, based on where Jada was coming from when he made the CD. In one of his interviews that he did, he was quoted as saying, "This is an album that you could basically clean your crib to," and he's right. Something to throw into the background, something smooth. It's not one of his best albums that he's ever put out, but it's definitely quality, and so I highly recommend that. I'm gonna go ahead and give that one a 7.5, and definitely gonna tell you all to go ahead and check that one out. Jadakiss definitely has another one. Speaking of a number one, let's talk about a number two, and that is the how can I say this? ELECTRONICA motherfucking cheated, alright? There's some fucking bullshit right here, alright? So the album, A Written Testimony, we waited over 10 years, over a decade for this project. And the man comes out and it's pretty much a fucking Jay-Z album, man. Like, this is your debut album. This is where you're supposed to, people who have no idea who you are, this is like your introduction to them, and you're gonna fucking hide behind Jay-Z, for all but like what, one track, and then the one track that is just you on is only like a minute and some change long. Like, that's fucking bullshit, dude. Like, going back to the Jadakiss album for just a quick second, Pusha T had a line on Hunting Season where he said, "All the record label cheat codes, none for me though." Meanwhile, Jadakiss is all like up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. Okay. Did it work? Am I platinum yet? Now don't get me wrong. Lyrically, this shit is definitely on point. You know what I'm saying? I like the kind of underground, raw hip hop feel that these beats have. That's just kind of what I gravitate towards, So as far as the production side of things, thumbs up. Good job there. Jay-Z pretty much overshadows ELECTRONICA, which is why the fuck he shouldn't be on this shit in the first place. It's like Jay has his lyrics, Jay has his bars. He's always been a lyrical dude. If you've never heard Exhibit C before, definitely go check that out. In my mind, that's ELECTRONICA at his finest, at his pinnacle. If we could have gotten an album of all Exhibit C type songs, or Exhibit A, or anything off of his like previous works, I would have given this a higher score than I'm gonna give it, But just the fact, and he raps about it all over the album, where he's talking about, how he's shook to put the album out because he doesn't know if he can live up to the hype. There's a lot of pressure behind it, things of that nature. I mean, he's been really rapping about that his entire career. Like, you even go back to Exhibit C, where he's like, Nas hit me up on the phone, said, "What you waiting on?" Tip hit me up with a tweet, said, "What you waiting on?" Diddy sent a text every hour on the dot saying, "When you gonna drop that verse, nigga, you taking long," And all over this album, he's basically, rapping the same thing. Like, yo, like, I don't know if I can live up to the pressure. It's a lot of work. It's just a lot of whatever. There have been garbage ass rappers that have stood by garbage ass fucking CDs. They weren't scared to put that shit out. ELECTRONICA is, light years ahead of all of them. It's really crazy to me, all these rappers such as Eminem, Andre 3000, like lyrical masterminds who are so meticulous about their craft that they're, Eminem is so like sensitive to criticism, that he'll respond, put out a whole album to respond to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Andre 3000, in my mind, was just so shook that he couldn't top The Love Below. Never did another fucking album after that. But it's like, you guys are fucking You guys are geniuses. Like, what is up with that? It's so weird to me. The best song on the entire album, in my opinion, is Shiny Suit Theory. The only problem is that song is over a fucking decade old. On your debut album, you're gonna fucking put a 10-year-old song on there? Like, that's insane to me. Now, Jay-Z is guilty of this shit as well, because back in 2007 for the American Gangster album, he put the song Ignorant Shit on there from 2004. But at least he put a different third verse on there, and he put a fucking Beanie Siegel feature on there as well. It wasn't like he was telling you the same song that you heard 3 years prior for free, you know. Meanwhile, Jay Electronica's like, I need 10 tracks, I can only have 9, fuck it, let's put this song on here because everybody seems to fuck with it, you know. So, laziness on that part, you know, like this is just laziness all over this shit, man, the way that I see it, you know, it's just not cool. But FluxCapacitor is my second favorite song on that album. It's the beat on that shit, man, it's like they took a bunch of like whoever the producer was to put the fucking pots and pans, right, and just started banging all over them shits, and they made a beat out of it, and it turned out to be the fucking shit. Like, literally, they were like, yo, that shit gonna be fire, B. Know what I mean? Talk quickly to you guys about the song Ezekiels Wheel, which is the longest song on the album. That's another good song. Now, again, don't get me wrong, these songs don't suck. These are very good fucking songs. It's just the everything, the intangibles that are surrounding the album that makes it not that enjoyable for me, you know? And for shit like this also, you want to talk about laziness, here's a fucking actual quote. An actual quote from the song Ezekiels Wheel. Jay Electronica's verse goes like this. Some ask me, Jay, man, why come for so many years you've been exempt? Cause familiarity don't breed gratitude, just contempt. And the price of sanity is too damn high, just like the rent. That's an actual fucking line. I didn't forget the words. I got them right here. And it fucking says, you see that shit? It says, For real, dog? On your fucking debut album? For real, dog? So overall, again, it's not a bad album. If you can look at this from any other perspective than a Jay Electronica CD, then it'll get like a 7 in my mind, you know? If you look at this as like a Jay-Z project where he decided to collaborate with Jay Electronica on some Watch the Throne Part 2 type of shit, then the album gets a fucking 7 in my opinion. But this is a Jay Electronica album. This is supposed to be his time to shine, his time to put himself in the limelight, in the forefront, to let people know about him. But he decided to take the bitch route and hide behind one of the greatest rappers of all time. So for that, I automatically have to knock 3 points off of the score. So the final score is Jay Electronica, a written testimony of 4. And it hurts my soul to give this album a 4. Because again, under any other circumstances, this would be a pretty good CD. But you can't fucking hide behind other rappers, dog. Like, that's not how this fucking shit works, you know? So, it is what it is. I know a lot of people out there are gonna disagree with me. Oh, you're not a real fucking hip-hop act. You weren't really listening to the lyrics and blah, 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 blah. Alright, fuck you. Go back and watch some of my old episodes of Nothing Just Chillin', and you can see how much of a true fan I am. Now, before I go, I want to give you guys a top 5 as far as where we stand for Album of the Year. I know it's only March, but I want to keep a running tally as we go along. So, as it stands right now, I've listened to 5 albums this year. And as it stands right now, the number 5 slot is going to go to the Jay Electronica album. The number 4 slot is going to go to Jadakiss's album, Ignatius. The number 3 album is going to go to Lil Wayne, The Funeral. I did not record a review for that, but I did think that shit was fucking fire. Number 2 right now is going to be Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By, which means the number 1 album of the year for hip-hop thus far is Royce da 5'9's The Allegory. Now you can definitely see my review for that, as well as AG's review on Nothing Just Chillin'. You just heard about Jay Electronica and Jadakiss here. And next time, I'll be back with my thoughts on another hip-hop album. And I hope you all will be there to join me for it. Until then, you can always check out Nothing Just Chillin' right here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here. And I think that's really about it. So, until next time, I'm your boy TJ Wild. Peace.